Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday, right? I think so. Um, yeah, it's Tuesday. Hi, everybody. Come on in, come on in. Say hello, say hello. Hi, everyone. Hello, Miss Abena. How are you? Hello, Illinois Sanctuary. My girls are on. We already know those two. Those two are on. It's gotta be on. Hello, is it Dwight or Dwight? Dwight, I think, because I don't have a Mr. Ola to make you believe what to joy. Oh, ah. But I think by probably someone saying I want to go. I want to. My niece come in. Hi, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. Say hello. Come on in. Say hello. Now you already know. Hello, Mama. What are you doing in New Jersey? Huh? Hello, Miss Illinois Sanctuary. How are you? Okay, you've been busy. It's busy, Jufua. Okay. As you see, is coming. I gotta love myself there and Illinois Sanctuary. It's got to be on. It's about to be on. Hi, everybody. Mama, what are you doing? Mama? What are you doing in New Jersey? Like, okay, it's not that far because I'm trying to think. Where is she? She's. Yeah, 70. What's going on? You have a boyfriend now? Huh? Because it looks like my mom has more action than I do. I need to start going. I need to on vacation. Oh, got you. And tell her, Illinois, it's not even summer yet. Because if my mom is having more action than I'm getting, okay, I need to get back in the dating scene. And all those boys in my DM that can't afford to order. Miss Giwa, I didn't hear back from you. Did you get my email? All those boys in my DM, they can't afford 250,000 white doves and a lifetime supply of lick finger meat pie and sausage roll. I mean, like that ain't even serious. Hi, everybody. This is Attorney Abisola Adebola Olalaye. I'm an immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. If you got an immigration question, if it's a case that we handle, we can and do represent immigration clients, regardless of the state you live in. Let me make sure you can see me. Okay, everybody see me good on TikTok. Hi, TikTok family. Hello. That's why they're boys, not men. Yeah. There are boys and then there are men. At this stage of my life, I don't do boys. Yeah, too old for that. Been there, done that. Yeah, so I'll pay my own bills. Just saying. Okay. Y'all, if you're not on Instagram, if you haven't seen the back and forth with Miss Sabina and Miss Illinois Sanctuary, y'all missing. I'm gonna bring them on one day, and all three of us it's gonna be a riot. But anyway, if you need to contact our office, our contact number is 334-341-4475. You can also visit our website at olalayelawfirm.com. I know I talk pretty fast. It's just crazy. It's been a long day. I'm functioning on 3 hours of sleep. And then I woke up and there's someone in my DM asking, literally, I'm not even kidding. I turn these things into skits. But y'all, if you see my DM, you're like y'all, like seriously, people. If I was in my 20s, if I was in my 30s, some things would be in, but I'm too old for some things. So yes, just make fun of it. Like, you're asking for my dowry, this is what you need to pay. That party will be lit. Now, once again, if you need to contact our office, contact information is 334-341-4475. Website is olalayelawfirm.com, OLALEYE lawfirm.com. You can send a text. Thank you, Miss Illinois Sanctuary. Yep. If you're on Instagram, she got you. For everybody else, especially TikTok, send a text to the number. We're also on WhatsApp, the same number. If you need to schedule your immigration consultation, you can go on our website, call our office. We'll get you set up. Consultation, we have 3 types, 30 minutes, 130, 45 minutes, 200, and 1 hour, 230. Let's get started on your immigration case. So come on in, people. Let's talk immigration. Like and follow, share, subscribe on our YouTube channel. All platforms is Olale Immigration, and we will be glad and happy to represent you. Mr. R's green card came in today. Let me tell you something. Whenever I get a green card, it's like I'm getting my green card all over again. Now, I've been a citizen for, what year are we in? For 9 years. Going to be 9 years. September 19. Going to be 9 years since I've been a citizen. So, but it feels, it's a great, I still remember the day I got my green card. It was like, I went to check the mail. I did not expect it. We weren't expecting the card to be approved for another 3 months or thereabout, was what the lawyer told us back then in 2009. And I went to pick up the mail. I was like, I'll be there. I was still married then. So I called my ex-husband, then husband, like, hey, guess what? I called my mama too. Yeah, but I called her. It was like, oh, we got a green card earlier. She was like, I seen that the long. But anyway, let's talk immigration. Yeah, I'm so happy for him. His family have been waiting. They tried to get it themselves, and he got to a point, you're like, you know what? Let's just contact this lawyer lady that I've been seeing. And let's turn it over to her. And we started the journey together, I want to say exactly a year ago. And they've been on it since 2019. So it's just God. It is just God. It's not anything I do or know, but it's just all the glory returns to God. And that's the important part of it. Who is that Will? I think that's Will. My 12-year-old friend's getting TikTok, so he actually put the put the website and the phone number. How very sweet of you, Will. Your mama raised you right. Let's talk immigration. What are we talking about tonight? Why is the asylum taking too long? And what are your options? So, asylum taking too long. What are my options? If I get $1 for every single time someone says, hey, sister lawyer, Mati file asylum for like 200 years. You got like this 12 and 30. That's the TJ. T. That's my 12-year-old. TJ. I think your friend is texting your mama's information on TikTok. How cool is that? No, nobody wants to see your bare teeth. Oh, Lord have mercy. Say hi to my 12-year-old.
What's good?
Okay, bye. Welcome to my world. That's my child. That's my child. People say, someone's like, you always talk about 2 kids, but we're only seeing 1. My oldest kid does not do fun fair. Now, my oldest is 18 and a half. And he's my low maintenance kid. I always say if I had TJ first, I'll have just 1 kid. But God knew what he was doing, so he gave me Esther first. And then TJ later. And TJ is my human birth control. Say no more. So asylum, if you have an asylum case, and you guys know the drill, questions at the end. If you have an asylum case, you filed for years. That is what we're saying. It is taking forever. What are your options? Why is it taking forever? What are your options? Where do you go from there? How long do you think it will? What is the estimated time you're going to have to wait before an interview is scheduled? All those questions, let's take them one by one. Okay. Asylum cases are taking much longer to have interviews scheduled because the last administration had in the last in, first out policy started in 2018. What that did then was whoever filed effective, when that policy was effective, whoever filed asylum, you would be scheduled for interviews first before those that even filed earlier than the policy. The idea behind that was because they thought people were using asylum to just get work permits, not necessarily have a credible ground for asylum, but filing frivolous applications just to be able to work. So the administration decided we're going to do that. before you, and then they decided to extend the time frame that you become eligible to file for work permit from 180 days to a year to make it, harder for people to get work permit. So that's what started the first delay for people who had filed asylum applications before 2018. Now, COVID happened, as we all know, and then we have this war going on. So right now, you've got an issue with COVID happening then. Post-COVID, we've got Ukrainians coming in. You've got Afghanistan coming in. And I think there are some countries that were designated TPS, but also have high priority for asylum applications. So what does that all mean? It just means that those countries, citizens from those countries, are being given priority as compared to everybody else. And the domino effect of that is now everyone who's been waiting since 2014, 2015, 2017, there's going to be even additional wait just because of the priority being given to citizens from these specific countries. That's the whole thing why asylum is taking much longer than it used to be. Now, there will still be some cases, there's always a unicorn case where you file and then you're scheduled for an interview. You just never know, depending on the asylum office that has jurisdiction over your case. But for the majority of people, that's what's going on. Because I have people call, as a lawyer, I'm like 200 years, what's going on? That's what's going on. The good thing is, even with the long waits, you're able to file for your EAD based on asylum after your application is pending for 150 days. Usually they're pretty fast in approving asylum EAD applications based on asylum if you're just filing it for the first time. Renewals are taking forever, but the initial EADs are taking anywhere from literally 3 days from when you file to approval to about 3.5 months at the latest is what I've seen in my firm. That's that's a good part, but the drawback to that is it is taking much longer to have your asylum interview scheduled. Next question I usually get is, so once that happens, am I able to expedite a request for them to expedite my asylum interview? You can, because you can ask USCIS to expedite anything. The question I usually have for people when they ask me, okay, can we expedite, is, do you already have enough credible evidence for your case? If you're going to ask, because expediting is always a 50-50 chance. USCIS may decide, okay, yeah, we're going to take you in, or no, we can't. What if they decide, yeah, you've got humanitarian grounds to expedite your case, but then the question is, do you have enough credible evidence that will be able to substantiate or sustain your application? And there's no guarantee of an approval, but at least increase your chances of an approval. So people are like, yeah, you've got to have your evidence before you're even asking them. So expedite interview date, then what? What are you going to base your case on? You get interviewed, you don't have enough credible evidence. You're going to be, if you don't have any status, you will be referred to immigration court. That's just the way. There's no appeal from asylum denial. So before you even think about expediting, make sure you have enough credible evidence. Send that in, and even if you don't send it in, make sure you have it ready just in case your expedite request is granted. You're ready to go. You're prepared. It's just like going to court. I can't go to court without making sure that I'm prepared for my trial or my hearing. Because if I get there and I have no clue what I'm doing, my client is going to look at me like, okay, what the heck am I paying it for? That's how it works. Okay. For the most part, USCIS denies expedited requests for asylum because a lot of people are sending that in. It's been a 50-50 thing with my firm where we're sending expedited requests for asylum interviews, and it's been 50%, about probably 55% denial. And they won't give you a reason. They just say, at this time, we cannot grant your expedited request, and we're waiting. So if you fall within the group of people waiting for years to get an interview, everyone is getting frustrated because then you cannot go back to your home country. You've already put in paper that you're afraid to go back to your country. you need protection for that home country, and you feel stuck. Now, keep in mind that if you have an asylum case pending, you are able to apply for advanced parole. Advanced parole allows you to travel. You just cannot travel back to the country where you're seeking protection from, because then it doesn't look good for your case. Unless now there's always an exception to every rule. So there are very, very limited circumstances where you can argue why you had to go back for a very short trip. But for the most part, and that's a story for another day. For the most part, you cannot. Okay, if you feel stuck, asylum interview is not being scheduled, you can't go home, you've got loved ones back home, what then will the options be moving forward? Okay, I think I have my sugar nephew, I don't even know. My sugar, yeah. Get it up. What then will be the options moving forward? Your options moving forward in the sense of what other alternative do you have in seeking immigration benefit? And it will depend on what you are eligible for. So, example, if you are seeking asylum and you are an international student, so you have a valid F1 visa status, right? You're still in school, but you're seeking asylum based on country conditions have changed. You're afraid because something has happened. You've got a valid ground for asylum. You file for asylum, and it's just stuck in the process. You have you're just stuck, but you're in school. You're still maintaining your F1 status. You decide, you know what? I don't want to wait much longer to get my asylum approved and get a green card through that process. What other option can I pursue? Since you are in valid F status, as long as you have maintained that status, then you still remain eligible to change and or adjust status. Change of status is you're going from one non-immigrant status to another. Adjustment of status is you're going from one non-immigrant status and you're adjusting to becoming legal permanent resident. If you still have that F1 status and you have an employer, for an example, that files an I-140 petition for you, or you file a national interest waiver petition for a self-petition for yourself, then once that petition is approved or your priority date becomes current, you are able to file an I-485 to adjust your status to that of permanent residency because you are still in valid status. Conversely, if you're not in any non-immigrant status, you will not be eligible to get your green card without having to leave the country. So what does that look like? It looks like you have overstayed. Example, you came in on a B1, B2 visa. You filed your asylum. You were given 6 months to stay. You filed the asylum application, say month 5. So you're not, you submitted your application, USCIS gets your application before your authorized stay is done. But you get an asylum receipt notice. It tells you while your case is pending, you're authorized to stay in the country. The 6 months authorized period is done, right? And you get an asylum, your asylum is still pending. If you decide that you can't wait anymore, you have an employer who is interested in filing for you, the problem you're going to have is you will not be, the employment petition will be approved, but you will not be able to adjust your status. And here's why, especially if you've spent another 180 days since the 6 months you were given. So let's assume that you've been in the United States 18 months since you came in. You filed your case before the 6 months was over, but now you stayed yet another 1 year since the date of your I-94. You will not be able to adjust your status without leaving the country because you're no longer in a valid status. Asylum pending is not a valid status. Asylum pending just allows you and authorizes you to stay because you have a pending application. That's why if you're not in any backup status and you have an asylum case, they said it's not a denial, it's a referral, but basically it's denied. The asylum office does not grant your asylum application. if you're not in any valid status, that's why you end up in immigration court. Let's assume you are in a valid F1 status. You have an asylum application. You have your interview. It's denied, but you are still in school. They will not refer you to immigration court. Why? Because you have a valid non-immigrant status that has not expired. That's the difference. So the more you know, people. Now, another alternative to not waiting for your asylum application or interview is if you get married. If you get married to a citizen, if you have no fallback status, you get married to a citizen, and you've been dating a citizen. They say, well, while we're waiting, I'll file for you. You can get your asylum, your green card through that. I usually tell people, do not withdraw your asylum application. Let it be, right? But go ahead and do your application. Once you get your green card, which one of my clients we just got, I should put it up. We're going to approve it. He still has an asylum case pending since 2017. And we got an alert that his green card has been approved. He got it through VAWA. So once we get that green card in hand, I have to let 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕𝒔. Yes. Like, once we get that, the next stage is we're going to send a letter to the asylum office, and we're going to withdraw it with evidence to show that he is now a legal permanent resident. So I always say, even if you're going the marriage route, don't withdraw your asylum application. The fact that you're filing something without having a backup status does not prevent USCIS DHS from still issuing your notice to European Immigration Court, and you end up in removal proceedings. So you've been waiting for far too long, wondering what's going on. No asylum interview. Okay, can my employer, because I get that question all the time. I have an employer who wants to file for me. It's not like the employer cannot file the I-140 for you. Understand that there is the petition, and then there's the adjustment of status application. Your adjustment of status application is not a standalone. It's got to stand on, it's got to have a ground stand on. Is it family based? Is it employment based? Is it asylum? It's got to have a ground to stand on. So the fact that you have an employer filing an I-140 petition for you, that's a standalone petition. That can be approved all day, every day. The question is, can you now file your green card when that petition has been approved? The next question is, are you eligible to adjust your status while in the country? Eligibility has a lot to do with what is the category you are filing for. If you are an immediate relative married to a citizen, yes, it doesn't matter that you've overstayed as long as you came in legally. If you're going through employment without any fallback status and you've overstayed beyond 180 days since your I-94 expiration, you cannot get your green card without having to leave. That's all she wrote. Okay. That's what I do for a living. I talk all day. That's why I hardly go out. So let's get to questions. Here's where I need my extra eyes. All right, people. My son's friends are going nuts. Okay. Let me start on... my mom is having more action than I like. That's not supposed to happen. What this boy is talking about? Okay. So, if you haven't been on my page today, listen. If you're sliding my DM and you send me something ridiculous, obviously I'm not going to put your name out there, right? But I'm going to probably do a skin around it. Like, okay, so if you're going to slide in my DM and ask me name my price, I already named my price. Now you want it wrong because I didn't hear back after I named my price, and literally that's what I put. That's what I responded. That's what I responded. Like, that's my price, especially the leaf finger, meat pie, and sausage roll. And the white jot of US. Pay all of that. Then we can talk. Right? Like, why run? Why are you running? Why are you running? So, anyway. So, Mr. Dosumino, Otisalo. So, here we are. Hey, if you can't laugh at yourself, you Life is too serious not to have you to laugh. Hey, Miss Gibson. Good evening. Where's our baby? Oh, you missed TJ? He stopped by. TJ stopped by earlier on with he flexing his muscles and all that. Um, he was supposed to go take a shower, but there you that's the story of my life. That's my baby. Um, his brother's not gonna show face. The best you're gonna do is see his photo on my page. No, he's not. Um, how can you use prima facie determination letter to get into college and I don't have a social? Why don't you have a social? Well, did you apply for your green card application, or did you file for your green card application so you can get um, your C9 category EAD while your VAWA case is pending? But most schools will probably ask you for a social security number. But yes, some schools will allow you can actually use a prima facie determination to apply for financial aid. Hi, Mr. Bernard. Okay. Oh, you saw him. Yeah, showing off his muscles. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta love TJ. And someone is TJ on here. Oh, cool. How do I get my green card after I have filed for visa? What green card? What visa did you file for? And it says, let me put that on. Can one still file for asylum after 4 years? It depends. It depends. The best answer a lawyer would give you. It depends on what your reason for filing for asylum after year is. The statutory requirement is you have to file for asylum within the first year of entry. If you don't file for asylum within the first year of entry, meaning beyond a year, then do you fall within the exemptions that allows you to file after the 1 year? Example would be it's changes in your personal circumstances. You were severely ill, you couldn't do anything, you have medical records to prove that, and you file within a reasonable time after you get better. Changes in country conditions, changes in extraordinary circumstances. It just depends. And I think MA, the best thing would be for you to sit down with a lawyer to discuss what your options will be. Okay, you filed for. So you were listening to last time. I gotta put this on TG. There's only one corn dog in your fridge, yeah. It's like this. Why do I feel this is one of TJ's friends? But if you're here last time, my kid, his brother went to get egg rolls and corn dogs for them. My oldest kid went to Walmart, was kind enough to get stuff that his brother likes. My sweet TJ decided to eat all the corn dogs and egg rolls that SJ got. Didn't even leave one for the kid who got him all of that. And he's going to tell me, well, it was in the fridge. You could have gotten it. I tell you, yeah. Okay, let's go to TikTok. Let's see. No, Will, I didn't call my kid fat. I just said he loves to eat. I can see what y'all are texting, just so you know. What action can be done for someone who is arrested by ICE? I don't do anything bond hearing related, so I won't be able to help you with that. Do you file an I-765 together when filing for VAWA? It depends on if you're there's an EAD that is automatically issued when your VAWA case is approved. It's a C31 EAD. Okay, it's a C31 EAD. that is issued when your VAWA petition is approved. Sometimes that is actually the first indication that your VAWA case has been approved, right? There also is a C9 work permit. The C9 work permit is attached to, when people say, as I filed a VAWA C9 work, no, the C9 work permit is not attached to a VAWA petition. A C9 work permit is attached to an I-485 application, family-based green card application. That's what is attached to. So, and the only way you can file a C9 category work permit is if you file an I-485 based on the fact that you have a VAWA pending. So if I-485 has to sit, quote unquote, it's not a standalone application, it's got to rest in something. That something in the VAWA case is the I-360. You file an I-360, you file an I-485, and based on that, you can file a C9 work permit. So when you say, do you file an I-765 together, depends on what category you're requesting. If you are requesting a C9, then you must file an I-485 in order for you to get a C9 EAD. If you did not file a 485 and you already checked, issue me an employment authorization card upon approval, then you do not have to file a C31 for the first one. It would be automatically issued to you. I hope that answers the question. Let's just like, can I still go for an I-130 interview after a file for VAWA? Can you still do that? Yes, but it confuses, then if that's approved, then you have to, because the fact that you have a VAWA doesn't mean your spouse can still continue a petition for you. But why would you want to do that? Why would you still want to keep in mind, if you go for that interview, part of what you're going to be asking, or you're going to be asked, is good fit questions, good fit marriage questions. Why jeopardize or risk you, unless you're really, really sure about your marriage and all, but why jeopardize anything that's going to make them question whether the marriage is actually real because you have, a humanitarian petition pending. And, I would not advise it, but can you? Yes. But it may confuse the hell out of USCIs. What happens if your notice was taken back because it could not be delivered? You can request for them to, maybe you change your address, your lawyer moved, whatever the case may be, contact your CIS. If it's a confidential case like a VAWA case, you got to literally write them. If you have an attorney in your case, your attorney can email them to send them to the attorney's office. That's what I do on behalf of clients, especially in cases that I take over. Okay, let's see. How long does it take to get get your work permit out for biometrics? One doesn't have anything to do with the other. So biometrics does not determine how long your work permit will take. Can someone travel from Arizona to Hawaii if they overstayed their visa? Hawaii is still part of the United States territories, but this is what I always say. If you don't have any documentation and you potentially can encounter ICE, why take the risk? Or potentially can encounter CBP, why take the risk? So I cannot tell you whether or not you can travel, but that's what I usually suggest. Like, that's the question I would ask you. What is the most important document in a VAWA case? There's no one singular important, but if everything else fails, a very, very detailed declaration, and when I say extremely detailed, I mean everything in the kitchen sink. When you go to the country, how you met your spouse, where you met your spouse, what you guys enjoyed doing before marriage, people who knew about your relationship. Did you go to the movies? Where would you go on weekends? When did you guys move in together? Did you rent a U-Haul truck? All that, like everything they want to know, give them everything. Sometimes VAWA petitioners do not have access to documents because of the abuse. So sometimes the only thing you have is a very detailed declaration with, witness affidavits that can back that up. So if everything else fails, at least have that. Let's see. The fact that your E80 was approved the day after biometrics doesn't mean that it was because the biometrics was done. I have so many E80s without fingerprint on it. So many without fingerprint on it. I have my clients ask me that, oh, Tisila actually valid more, and it prints more, I have E80s issued before my clients have biometrics done. So that's the point. So the fact that you have biometrics, your E80 issued just the day after doesn't mean it's because you got your biometrics done. Let's see. It's been 18 months since citizenship interview, but no answer. What should I do? The law requires USCIS to make a decision on your naturalization application within 120 days from when you have your interview. The law also provides specifically for naturalization. If you don't have a decision within 120 days, you can actually sue them, meaning seek judicial review. For every citizenship application, knock on wood, that has been past 120 days, and I send a demand letter. Demand letter doesn't always work for everything, but that's just a way to scare them, saying I'm going to sue, but make sure you're ready to follow through suing. So for every one of those that have sent in for citizenship, the citizenship has been approved, or we will get a request for evidence. A decision is made because they know that's what the law says. That's one application I know USCIS really would respond to. Let's see. Marriage-based green card. My spouse is an LPR, legal permanent resident. Can we file an I-130, I-45 together? Can you file? Yes. The question is, will you be able to adjust without having to leave the country? So my question to you, RSAP, is, are you in any valid status? Right now, USCIS is using the dates for action filing. Don't quote me on that, on the visa bulletin. So as far as US is concerned, for the month of April, F2A, I think, is a category, is still current. Current means that you're able to file concurrently right now. However, if your spouse is an LPR, that means you must be in a valid status at the time you submit your I-45. Is a VAWA green card for 2 years or 10 years? It's issued for 10 years. Can you file for VAWA when your marriage petition is ongoing? Yes. My I-130 status just changed to case being actively reviewed. How long will it take to get an interview date? I'm seeing a lot of that in some of my cases. So some of them we approved your I-130, and then some we're scheduled for an interview. Those that we have scheduled for an interview, I'm not seeing anyone change from that actively reviewing to we're scheduled for an interview more than 30 days after. That's just my firm. That's it. Hey, TJ's mom. Hey, Weston, how are you? Okay. Yeah, got TJ's friends all over here. Can you marry a green card holder waiting for asylum? Good question. That's one of the things I didn't bring up. Same thing. If you're not in a valid status, you, the immigrant or intended immigrant, is not in a valid status, and all you have is the authorized stay from your asylum application, then no, you can marry, but you cannot adjust your status without having to leave. And living means if you've overstayed, you need a waiver before you leave, and overstay, you only have parents or spouses as qualifying relatives. What is 2.5 years clock to be a citizen? I have no clue what you're talking about. Okay. How can I get Social Security or came in through B1, B2? You got to be eligible for Social Security. So y'all, I can hear my oldest kid in the kitchen every single night. Knuckle with, thank you, Jesus. Like the kid will, when he's done with dinner or whatever in case he's done in the kitchen, he would literally do the dishes. If there are dishes in the sink, he'll put everything back, wipe the counter. Like, knuckle with, thank you, Jesus. He's headed to college in August. I'm gonna miss my kid. He helps his mom a lot. Goes grocery shopping, takes care of his brother. You know, yeah. Thank you, Jesus. Can a green card holder mom file for her 25-year-old daughter in the country, and how long does it take? USCIS.gov shows you how long it's taken. Visa Bulletin will tell you how long the wait will be for her to apply for her green card. At the time she applies for the green card, if she's still in the country, she must be in valid status. Okay. All right, let's go to my people on Instagram. Miss it in the sanctuary where you're up to. Probably shut the whole place down. Hey mama. Y'all, did you see my mom? I put up a photo of my mom. So they had a celebration for her on Sunday. Did y'all see my mom's photo? Like that lady is 70. Like I got my work cut out for me. Because y'all think I'm fashionista. That's where I got it from. So God sparing all our lives till then. I got the pressure. The pressure is getting worse. Yeah. So, and she's got like Banki party Lenny coming up now. She's got like 200 parties lined up for summer. I mean, I think that's the secret. She's active. She does not sit. She does not sit still. She's always on the move. So I think usually, yeah, that helps you. No worries, Miss Giwa. That's fine. No worries at all. I just wanted to make sure that maybe you respond. I got like 1,000 something emails. Yeah, the party would believe I'm telling you. 334-341-4475. That's our number, and you can text to that number as well. Congratulations, Mr. R. Yes. I see some of my clients. Hey, people, I'm not going to call your names out. That's okay. Yeah, you got to love TJ. What's not to love about TJ? TJ's the life of the party in that house. Like, that's not a love of my kid. So TJ the other day told his brother, I can teach you how to talk to girls. He's 12. Like, we all just laugh. Like, really? Like, this kid really thinks he's the man. It's the life of the party. Like, shh. And TJ's not home. Ooh, you know. So it's TJ's world, and we're all living in it. Okay, let's see. So we're almost out of time, people. Let's see. Thank you, Miss Abby. How are you? Okay. Oh, my dance video. I love dancing. Like, yo, I got it from my mother. Like, let me explain something to you people. I was raised by, my mother is Ijebu. She's 100% Ijebu woman. Tell about anything about Ijebu people. They love to party. Like, Ijebu is synonymous with party. If you're an Ijebu person, I dare you to challenge me on that. Because I will tell you show me Tell me something different and I'll show you a liar. Because growing up with my mother, God have mercy. I don't, yeah, man, it was a weekend. There wasn't something going on. But yeah, I'm society ladies. So I see my dad goes, right, God rest his soul. He's make fun of those. Like, I what you do is what, yeah, tutu. Because he was saying the next one, yeah, there was always something. Society meeting, someone's birthday, and on my dash for everything. Like, what in God's name? Because people may not know, I'm very introverted to some extent. My parents knew that I had to do law because I know how to run my mouth. But other than that, I'd rather be home. Um, you know, that's why I still don't have anyone I'm dating. Because I was on dates like literally this last weekend. Someone said, hey, on Saturday morning, I called him. I'm like, no, I'd rather go watch Nollywood on Netflix and eat eba and ogbono. Yeah, story of my life. But my mother, oh Lord, have mercy. Yeah, Bangisha Shwambe. Those people can partake. I'm telling you, y'all from jeez, I've never seen. And she's got like 200 parties lined up already till October. I'm like, I'm just trying to even get through the school semester, and because I share custody of my boys with their dad. I always look. I love my kids. Don't get me wrong. I got primary custody of my kids, so they were with me the whole school year, and they go to their dad every other weekend. So yeah, I got primary custody of my kid. But summertime, I requested for the judges like half and half because I need to decompress and have a whole week to myself where TJ is not in my brain. Like I talk to him and like be able to hang up and like, I'll see you next week. Yeah. Don't judge. That's how I can function as a mom and as a human being. So come out to that parties we win and then that's too much. Let's leave it alone. I ain't doing it. Question time. Yes, I ain't doing that. I'm coming for summer. Do you want anything from the farm? No, I don't play with agbalumo. Yeah, TJ calls me all the time. That's TJ's friend. Who's all the girls? I'm not even kidding. If anyone is coming from Niger, if you want to slide into my DM, please make sure I should have put that agbalumo. If you have agbalumo, you was I mean go my best slid into it. We will be sliding together. That's the English I'm speaking. I love agbalumo. For real. If an asylum is granted by an immigration judge, will the person still need to leave before adjusting status to green card holder? No, you're not. Adjusting basically is you're adjusted in the country. If you're granted asylum by an immigration judge, no, you will adjust status without having to leave the country. Hello, Help Big Movement. I'm going to get to you. I responded to your email, so I will get to you. Married to a U.S. citizen for more than 2 years, got my work authorization and traveling documents, waiting for green card. The problem now is my husband says he wants to divorce me. Okay, and I don't want to call your name because this may potentially be a valid case. What is your question? I can tell you definitely you will need to consult with a lawyer, so you can discuss your case. Can I use my prima facie to get medical insurance? I've been struggling with this. Any insight you can give me will be appreciated. Yes, prima facie allows you to apply for Medicaid. And you're not going to, it's not going to affect you because when you get your prima facie determination, at that point you are qualified, no pun intended, as a qualified resident. Part of being people who are part of that fall in the category of qualified residents are VA petitioners. Eleanor Sanctuary, yes, cover face like TJ. TJ. When my baby was oh, I know who this is. Oh, on YouTube. That is my oldest kid. Esty, I figured you out. Because I was like, what in God's name knows everything in my home office? SJ, hi SJ. Your mama's a lawyer. You know that I'm going to figure it out. It's like, why does this person know everything? Your birthday is August 21st. Why do you have 4 printers? That's my kid. That's my oldest kid. Using his brother's name. I'm looking at like, yeah. If for those asking if I'm my oldest kid, if you're on YouTube, yeah, that's him. Hey SJ. Like, what the hell? But growing up, TJ, when he was like, I think 2 or 3, or whenever people would take us, he's got those lovely eyebrows, and you see him, and people would say, such a good looking, handsome little man. Rather than say thank you, he would say, I know. And I'm like, pushing so funny, like, okay, yeah, you're handsome, but you don't you don't say, you say thank you. So I had to intentionally teach him until he stopped doing that. Because I was like, but I know like, confidence much. Yeah, there's a thin line between confidence and arrogance, kid. Yeah, immigration is like, it's in big brother duty. I'm telling you, SG doesn't do it. SG just lets him be. Immigration process is slow. It is. Does having a mortgage house and giving birth to American citizen child help to get approved for asylum case? I wish it did, but it does not. Yes. Approval for VAS come from 28 months to 33 months. Yes. And I think I checked it either yesterday, it was 35 months, and maybe it's back to it's ridiculous. It is. It's just how many years of green card do I get after VA approval, and when do I file for citizenship? So VA cases, you get 10-year green card. If your abusive spouse is a citizen, then you will become eligible to apply for citizenship after 3 years, regardless of whether you're still married to the spouse or not. If your abuser is a green card holder, then you have to wait 5 years. Okay, let's see. Can an asylum case, can an EA be renewed when an asylum case is closed? I mean, interview done, referred. It's not closed. You just referred to immigration court. So if it's still active. So yes, you can generally. Disclaimer: general information, nothing specific to anyone's case. So, just saying. Responded to RFP since November 2021. No word from USCI since then. What can I do? Congressional assistance requests, ombudsman inquiry. If all else fails, sue them. Okay. All right. Thank you, Miss Nabu. How have you been? It's been a while. I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, my mama, she loves parties. She loves parties. She does love parties. Hold on 1 second. Let's see if I can bring up something real quick. Okay, no. Okay, I was going to bring up something to one question I saw, but yeah, I'll see. Does have it? Okay, all right. Can you explain I-134A? Hey, Mr. Bernard. What do you want to know about I-134A? In a nutshell, it's a financial, what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? It's followed by a sponsor for, so with those who are, for instance, with the war in Ukraine, people were allowed to file I-134 parole for people who were in Ukraine if you meet some criteria. I-134A is what you, the sponsor that is that's giving up that's putting in your you're able to file I-131, and then the I-134A is you saying, I will be financially responsible for this person, the foreign national coming in, and I will support them. So it's basically an agreement you have with the U.S. government. Does that answer your question? How long does an I-7, you mean I-751 self-petition usually take to be approved based on your experience? Using the most recent case, which is Mr. K's case, we filed his case November 2022, and he got his green card approved March last month. Now, those are kind of cases I call unicorn cases, and it depends on whether they waive an interview, whether you have submitted sufficient evidence, what grounds you're filing on. His was an abuse-based waiver ground, and we did have an interview in his case. It was scheduled really fast, so it depends on your state. And another abuse case we filed in November 2021, and it was approved without an interview June or July last year. I forget now. There was another one that we filed January 2022, and we just got the notification for interview. I think it was yesterday, today. So it just depends on what evidence you submitted, what ground, where you live. I've seen that those that take the shortest time from start to finish are from states where there are not too many immigrants. So Kentucky, Massachusetts, depending on the area, Maine, I go everywhere. So I hope that answers the question, I think. Hello, Ms. Falabi, how are you? Amolade, what's your question? What's the question you asked? My mom says life is too short. Banky. Like, see, my mama. He miss Chrissy. My mom. Yeah. I know. Yeah, man, a number me she want that. As I said it to. So basically, hey, tell Jayla I said hello. That Miss Abby says hello. Yeah, my uncle said number me she want that. I've started saying it to because like my kid was saying, when I got dressed this morning, because I haven't worn this dress in a while, and he says, "That's a nice dress." So when your kid pays you a compliment, you got to pay attention. And I go like, "Yeah, I had kids. I didn't die." So if we go number me she want that. Who's looking for a husband? Raise your hand. No, I'm not looking for a husband. No. Anyone who's going to be ready to take me on, you need a whole lot of Jesus. I'm not sure I like people sliding into your DM. Okay. Listen, if you have a balloon, please slide in. Be slided in. I will help you. Please. Because, or if you're going to buy me a lick finger, meat pie, and sausage roll every week and pay for shipping, keep sliding. Like, right? Not even lick fingers. Yeah, keep sliding, please. Put it on subscription. Pay her directly, and yes, you and I will be friends forever. Is it possible for immigration to find out about your child that wasn't included in your VAWA process? I mean, U.S. government can find out anything. Anything. U.S. government will find out anything. Like, I just paid. Don't even get me started, because this week is not the best week in the sense of I was telling my mama I paid a lot of money to IRS. I had to file an extension because I told my I'm going to get all the expenses, but unfortunately, I don't have a lot of expenses or deductions in my personal life and business wise. Yes, but because I don't, I mean, thank you, Jesus, I don't pay insurance for my kids. They're under their dad's insurance. I don't pay tuition. He pays for it. I mean, God bless him. Mike, when your kids tell you that they forget that you and your dad are divorced, both of you have to say thank you, Jesus. It means we're doing something right. Because I told my kids from day one, I'm divorcing your dad. It doesn't mean you are divorcing your dad. That's my issue, not yours. So the relationship with them, if anything, has increased, has grown, and they're boys. There are a lot of things I cannot teach them because I'm a woman. But so because of that, I don't have, and so she was telling me like, well, the fact that we filed an extension doesn't mean that you don't have to pay IRS. And I'm thinking, I worked my butt off. I didn't go to bed until about 2:30 a.m. yesterday. And that's why when you see me dancing is because I got to stay awake. And I had to get up at 5:30. Because I had to get a case out today. And I had to do a final review, and no, you couldn't print it if I didn't find. So, and then you turn around and you tell me, okay, well, bring all the money. I mean, come on. America is. But then again, I fear IRS more than any other agency. But all in all, U.S. government will find out anything they decide to find out. You get to the interview and they tell you about a child that you registered in a state that you did not include in your application. That has happened before my eyes. That has happened to many, many clients that come and have a consultation. So please do not take it for granted. They will find out what they need to find out. Just saying. When the sanctuary said the person offering 𝒊𝒎𝒏𝒕 should be able to feed a whole nation of 𝒊𝒎𝒏𝒕 because it's not only to see lawyer. I'm telling you. Okay, 2 more questions and we cut it. I think we'll do questions on Thursday. Is EAD through VA not taking much longer? I know who you are. It's not like it's not taking much longer, but we're averaging about 6 to 8 months. Now, I got a case that I've been emailing, like, y'all, they've told me to stop emailing again on this case. I did it with Miss Pam's case. There's some cases like, why are you guys doing this? Like, my people need their work permit. So I've been emailing them and they finally got back to me today and says, hey, we got your email on February 21st or something. We got another email on March. It's not even 30 days. Please do not send another email about this case. You are that's literally what the 7 sent an email like, okay. But generally it's not sticking. Y'all need to make a list if you need that bottom one. I do. Yes, I do. Please. I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding. Like for real. I'll listen to the sanctuary. Today's a good day to schedule a consultation. You can call or text 334-341-4475 to schedule a consultation or go to ololayalawfirm.com. She said it, not me. Thank you, girl. Thank you. I love you. Absolutely epic. Vibe receipt notices. I got a whole, you should see my floor. My mail lady, because whenever I'm going to take, like, if I don't have to be in the office on Fridays, I take the long weekend and I just ask my mail lady, please keep my mail. Because for the most part, my firm is like a hybrid. All but one of my assistants work remotely, and that's made life a lot easier for everybody. Because I remember when I was people don't believe when I was a stay-at-home mom for 10 years, and when I started back into, hindsight 2020, God has a way of just paving the way for you. When you think you're going this route, he just says, no, he's going to block this because you have to go this way. Because I don't think I would do what I'm doing if I was working for somebody else. I would not be able to express my passion the way it is because it will be billable hours. And for me, that doesn't work. So when I went back to law school, took the Alabama State Bar exam, did that in 2014, went back and took the New York State Bar exam in 2017, tried to get a job, applied to. I have a stash that I didn't even know, but when we moved to his house, I saw that stash of application that I sent. I was like, wow. But it was like an epiphany. One day I literally was in bed and I was like, what if I just go and knock on this person's office door and ask them, hey, I'm not asking for a job. I just need you to show me how I can start a practice if I can start it here in this county. And that's how Olale Law Firm started. And he told me, he says, I can never forget. He goes, this was October 2015. He says, you can come get cases, but I would not advise you to start a law firm. I don't think you can make it. See, when you tell a Nigerian woman that she cannot do something, you say I can't do it. Have you met my mother? Have you met me? That's when he's like, okay, that's you talking. That's not God talking. So that's you human. I hear you. I respect you. I respect your opinion. But if God hasn't said it, I am believing it. So fast forward. Thank you, Jesus. But I was a stay-at-home mom. So being able to express myself and being able to just do this work the way I choose to, being able to do that for people who work for me now and give them the flexibility that they need. It's a blessing because I get it when you are, because I look back when my kids have school functions, I don't have to ask anybody that if I have court date, I ask if someone can fill in for me. I'm able to still be a full-time mother and practice law in my spare time. So I usually would have my meal lady, keep my meal. So today she literally brought me, those post office containers where they have. I was like, what happened? I was just still here. It's just a weekend. What happened? It's like USC, I just decided, there you go. So I got it all here. My oldest kid actually works for my firm. So he does that and he would put it together. So if you're my client, you're probably, and you're waiting on receipt notices. One I sell. So to your question, there's one we filed last month. And I know that because I remember vividly when we filed his case. I think it was March 7th. And his receipt notices are there. And today is April 18th. There's some also that we filed in February that is also in this batch. So, yeah. Pour water to make the DM slide better. If you're going to bring Agbalumo, I am going. Please slide in. Thank you, Ms. Abena. Yes, I love it. Just to be. See, if you cannot help your own people, thank you, Epic Movement. When you tell an August 21st baby you can't do something, ask my mother. Oh, what am I supposed to turn on? I don't know. Help me. What am I supposed to turn on? Is it here? Where? I don't. Somebody. So we can do that for Thursday. Listen, I went to law school so I don't have to do tech stuff. I represent people who are in tech when it comes to national interest. That's all I know. But to try to figure out what it is, I don't know how to do it. So somebody help me. But Epic Movement, please preach it for those at the back. If you tell us, Leo, especially Leo babies, we cannot do something. It's about to be on. That's when the fire starts. I'm telling you. We ain't going to prove nothing. We'll just move. We'll just move quietly. Hey, I tell you, I could not. One of my assistants, Carla, is on. Carla, say hi to everyone. I'm not going to say what our username is, but say hi, and everyone would know. So if you have a case, and Carla is on your case, that's one of my girls. Carla's been with me. Carla, we're going on 2 years together, right? Say hi, Carla. Come on, don't be shy. I think we're going on 2 years together. And it is a blessing. Those who have, I've set it up on my profile. Okay. it's a blessing because I've gone through all kind of assistance. TJ, TJ with the mouth, he says, Mom. Yeah, I know Collins on your case. He says, Mama, I think you're the problem because you're the one who hires and fires. Yeah. Collins saying hi everyone on Instagram. Almost 2 years. That's true. And before I got called, I had gone through, oh Lord have mercy. But when I tell you that this girl, knock on wood, is a blessing to the 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 law firm. Thank you, Miss Odu. I'm not going to say your full name. She responds to emails super fast. Some people say, she doesn't, but I always say, give us 72 hours. And I said, told Carla, put that in your email. And my email is 72 hours. Come on, people. Do you know we have many, many cases? So we'll get to it. But she is a blessing. And not because she's on, I tell that to them, email them. Isaiah, another one, Karen. God has just been faithful because I've been searching. And I don't, Carly, she's reading everything. I'm not the easiest person to work with in the sense of it's not hard to work with, but I'm very, very, in color, right? I'm very specific. I'm very direct. I don't mean any harm. It's just the way I'm wired. And she and all of them, she is going like, I get it. Okay, yes, I should know better, or I'll take care of this, or I would. To have someone who is just willing to learn and deal with my craziness and not, she probably cusses me on their breath, but that's okay. But she knows that my assistants know and my paralegals know that I respect them. We're a team. We would not function without, I would not function without them. That's no, that's just the way it is. So anyway, so Carl, everyone says hi and you're appreciated more than you know. All right, people. So that's all the questions I'm going to get to tonight. I was going to get to one real quick. This was helpful. Apply for asylum when I was out of status. Will stop you don't have to stop your national interest waiver process. If you filed, hello, Mr. Bernard. If you filed just the petition, you don't have to stop that. If you filed an I-485, as long as you filed the I-485 before you had accrued up to 180 days since your I-94 expired, you still would be fine. However, on employment-based, if you've also already spent more than 180 days beyond your I-94 expiration date, then you would have to leave the country. But you may trigger, a 3-year bar or 10-year bar. So talk to a lawyer before you leave, if you're going to leave. I never advise leaving unless you don't have any choice. But anyway, okay, people. She said, no nonsense, lawyer. Don't call me. No, that's not true. Thank you, Epic. Looking forward to, and we're going to the Bahamas. Don't forget. I ain't playing with that. Yeah, Miss Tammy Yemi, Miss Ellen already answered your question. So once again, if you need to contact our office, the number is 334-341-4475. Visit our website at 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Yeah, we'll be glad to help you. Ourselves, we can guarantee an outcome. That's just the thing. Do we get denials? Of course, that's just the norm. But we would magnify the positives and then let God see us and give us the path to work through the denials and what is the right, because I don't like, I won't say it, so I just don't like losing. Y'all need to see if I open and it's a denial or I get an email alert, that just drives me insane. Like Miss Christie, when he denied her aid, I was like, what will be the reason? And then to find out there was an error on their part, hell no. But then there's some denials like, okay. It takes me a minute to get, everyone who works there, and Carla would say, I take it very personal because I know that it's been a journey for that client. I can never guarantee an outcome. My contracts are very clear. There's nothing I can do as long as I've done my work. But I think for me, compassion is just part of who I am. I just don't know how to, as much as I try to dissociate from, okay, that happened, there's nothing I can do about it. It's my brain goes into what is next for my client. Yeah, my representation has ended up, but what next can we do? And I'm trying to figure out with you, what is the next step? What options do you have? And I'll send you a detailed email. This is what you need to do. These are options you can consider. Because the fact that yes, it's not represented, it's not guaranteed and all that, but I'm human. I still have to. That's just me. There's just nothing. I've come to accept there's nothing I can do about it because that's part of what God has given me the gift to have and to be able to do this work that I do. So sometimes it is very, very, epic news. I take it personal, sometimes too much, and I just have to shut it down and just remind myself, like, okay, it's at the end of the day, it's a job. You cannot kill yourself, but I am who I am. But anyway, I end by saying, even if you're in that situation where the news you're expecting or the news you got is not the news you're expecting, it doesn't mean God has failed. He never fails. It just means that there's going to be more work to be done. So as long as you don't give up, as long as you're able to take a minute, breathe, go back to the drawing board and say, what's next? What can we do? And at the end of it, just put it all before the altar and know that God that has started the journey for you and in you, he is not going to let you fail. It's not going to end in failure. It may take a while. It may take a while, but it will surely come to pass. I believe, just as I'm sure, this is crazy, but just as I'm sure, let's laugh a little bit. Just as I'm sure that when I get to heaven, is my mom still here? And God asked my mom's family, all of my cousins and all, like, he asked my mom, and I was telling her, like, God is going to ask you, your sisters, what did you leave for your kids on earth? And they're all going to say, we left them big butts. Yeah, but hey, we don't have to pay for it. But I was going to say, just as I'm sure that my mother is my mother, I think, but as I'm sure that God, has put me on this earth and all of us on this earth for his purpose and for his glory. And that's just as I'm sure that it is nighttime right now, but because of his power, he that created and spoke the world into existence, by morning is going to be bright. I'm very positive that God just cannot fail. There's going to be a way. We may not see it, but it will make a way. Just keep believing. It's not human based. It's not human power. It is what God does. And he alone will receive all the glory. I always say, the day I think that it is what I do, it's not, that's the day I begin to fail. I have no power to do anything. It uses people to accomplish his goal, to accomplish his work. And we're all here as vessels in his hands. And I pray that our journey is all will end in praise. I will see you guys on Thursday. Thank you all very much each and every day for joining me. Special thanks to my girls, Miss Abena and Miss Illinois Sanctuary.